Hi, hey everyone. Uh, Daniel, do you want to run an intro for us?
Hello, everybody today. Apologies if there was a 2-second delay. I'm here in the wonderful country of Brazil promoting our wonderful MetaMask card today in my hotel. I think had a momentary disconnection. I'm all good now, right, Malen?
Yeah, you're
You can,
perfect, sir.
I'm coming through clearly.
Amazing.
Excellent. So, thank you all today. We are super pumped. I'm going to do a super brief intro, and then I'm really going to try to kick this over to our wonderful friends and partners because that's what today is ultimately about. The MetaMask card is a platform to connect self-custodial accounts to the world of everything the DeFi and the real world can offer. So I'll keep it brief, but I love to do a little introduction. So let me share my screen briefly, and I'm going to give you a little update that sets the stage for all this. So apologies if you've heard some of this before, but I'm just going to do a little bit of a review of some of the things you already know, and then we're going to get to the real good stuff. So the MetaMask card, we love it. You love it. What is it? You all know this. It's what it's not, right? It's not a prepaid, not a top up, not an unsecured credit line a la traditional banking that happens to have crypto rewards, not a custodial card, not an on-chain payment account. It is, in fact, a card that connects you and any EOA you have, multiple EOAs. You can use our wonderful MetaMask, but you can use integrations with cool things like Fireblocks or BitGo if you like custodial solutions. You can pay from a ledger with any EOA to all of DeFi. So it always brings the question up for me, and sorry if you've heard this before, what is personal banking? Personal banking is saving, spending, lending, credit rewards, right? I want to save my money. I want to be able to spend it anywhere. I want to be able to lend it for, interest as you might have in a savings account or a certificate of deposit. Credit, I want to get a credit line that I can do some savings and spendings with. And then, of course, rewards. I want to be rewarded for all this wonderful stuff I'm doing. What does this mean for DeFi? What is a Daniel Bank, a Catalina Bank, a MetaLend Bank with the MetaMask card? We want to really tie the entire wonderful world of Web3 and crypto for you to have all of these things and the best possible offerings and the most self-guided ways that you can do these. So saving, I want spendables that are in every currency, both the tokenized versions of real fiat currencies like Yuri for the euro, GBPE for the pound, USDC for the dollar, but also cool things like Aave's AUSDC, the deposit token that earns rewards in real time. I want to spend it. I don't want to have to, be depositing, pulling it out, spending. No, I want to spend AUSDC directly at the point of sale. So I'm earning up until the precise moment of purchase. That gets us to the point of lending, right? I want simple, amazing DeFi lending experiences that integrate to my real life. We've been really proud to partner with Aave on AUSDC spend for some time, but we made it even easier for some of our novices now. You can do a one-click earn from your USDC balances that you see in your MetaMask mobile app, which makes it even easier. So much success. We had to raise the cap last week. We're really happy about that. Credit, we want like the cheapest, best credit lines on our collateral, and we're working on productizing them more. And of course, rewards. Now, that's what we've had up to date, but I'm adding one more, and that's experiences. For those of you who saw what we did in EFCC, it was super fun. We took people around in helicopters. We were in speedboats. We were in sports cars. We're in single engine planes. We went to a perfumery, Sheikh Ali Mar, to create our own custom perfumes. It was very exciting. And for this, I think we are going to continue to do these at all the big crypto events where we're going to select the most faithful MetaMask card users, invite them to these events, and those who've bought our metal card. So be on the lookout as ETH Latam in Sao Paulo comes up. Be on the lookout for DevCon, maybe some of the tokens. And then, of course, we also want to do, everyone loves our builder nights. Everyone always wants to get in. We are going to start to implement that just anyone with a metal card gets in. You don't even have to sign up for the Luma. We will keep you posted on that. But in the lane of experiences, I did want to announce this little alpha. We're just announcing this live separately from this call right now. We introduced MetaMask Travel, travel.metamask.io. With your MetaMask card, you get, these are real discounts. I've investigated. You can investigate if you don't believe me. Compare to other brokers, compare to hotel sites. We're getting you anywhere between like 40 to 60% discounts on really good hotel selection. 5-star if you want, 3-star if you want to go cheap, 1-star if you're on a budget, any hotel that you want. We are now guaranteeing super big discounts on these. And in addition, providing 7% cash back with our card. Really proud of this. That's a little bit of like where we've been with the card, where we're going. But I do want to say today, what do we want to highlight? we're talking about lending, we're talking about credit, we're talking about rewards. Well, we got some really great partners today. So in lending, we got some friends with MetaLend. They launched this novel multi-chain, multi-pool card offering. They've already been doing rebalancing across all like Aave and Gauntlet, Morpho pools across many chains. They've created a special version for the card where you can set aside a little bit of that rebalancing to Aave AUSDC so you can be on Linea, so that you can be pursuing the best rewards possible while also spending with the card. On the lending and credit side, we did some great work with our friends at Brevis, who are going to present a way that we are now presenting monthly rewards for both borrowers and lenders to Linea Aave, who happen to also be card holders. And of course, for all of our wonderful friends who love the coin community, it's back. We got our friends from DapDap back. MetaLend will talk a little bit about this with Socratic. We're super pumped to bring coin community back. And additionally, for all the folks who are really excited about Rex, I think a lot of folks have been excited about EtherX. Rex has now joined the coin community family. That's all I've got. I don't want to spend too much time taking away from our wonderful partners. I hope that was getting people pumped. I hope you're all a little bit pumped for this, but you're going to get more pumped when these wonderful partners really dive deeper into what these wonderful new partnerships are. So with that, let me stop sharing so you don't see the endless thing there. I'll pass it back to MetaLend and our wonderful partners. Thank you for attending today. We're really pumped. MetaMask card, baby. Saving, spending, lending, credit, rewards, now experiences. We're shipping for you. Complain to us. Give us suggestions. This is all about really serving you with the best self-custodial neo-banking experience ever happened. MetaLend, I think I will pass it to you to be the DJ MC from here on.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. So yeah, as Daniel said, like the card is like an amazing product, and it is amazing because it integrates with a lot of the rest of the DeFi on Linea. And so we're going to start this roundtable by bringing Colton from Aave to the table, because of course, like as Daniel said, AUSDC is spendable on the card, and so that is Aave's USDC. So let's bring in Colton from Aave, and let's talk about what Aave and MetaMask card can do together.
Sweet. I think I'm here.
Perfect.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invite. I was just on a stream not long ago shilling the MetaMask card and some of the stuff we're doing with MetaMask. So it's cool to be here with Linea and shilling some of the stuff that we've been working on together. There's a lot in the pipeline.
Yeah, absolutely. And like there's a few things that we did with you guys as Consensus, as MetaMask and Linea. One of them was the Earn product that really made it super easy for MetaMask users to directly interact with Aave in a very native way from their MetaMask wallet. And what happens when people do that is that they have USDC that is not yielding anything, and they can start lending it directly on the app. So that has been a massive success. And now the next step for that is really, now that we have Aave USDC that is earning interest because it's being lent, we can now directly spend it. So AUSDC is spendable on the card. How do you see this like evolving, and how do you what things does it unlock for you?
Well, I think for us, it's really exciting just to see Aave get integrated into more like real world use cases. I think one of the things that everybody talks about in the space is that DeFi is kind of serving a very niche audience, or it's serving a very niche group of people who are spending all of their time on chain. And so I think the exciting thing about some of these cards that are interfacing with DeFi is that for the first time in a long time, we can really bridge real world activities with what we're doing on chain. What's particularly exciting about, the AUSDC spending is that when most people save in a high yield savings account, or they have a savings app, typically those accounts require some sort of long lockup period, or you only get yield whatever every month or something like this, or there's account minimums. With AUSDC and with depositing to Aave, you can kind of deposit and withdraw at any time. So already that experience is a lot smoother than your typical like high yield savings account or something like this. And now with the ability to spend it on the MetaMask card, what's even more special is that you could save up to the moment you spend your money. So now you don't have to like lose purchasing power in order to have spendable cash. You can retain your purchasing power by saving in Aave and then just spend it whenever you want. And that dynamic, I think, is completely new when it comes to finance in general, because for all the reasons I said, like banks typically make saving a very difficult process. Most people actually don't even know what a high yield savings account is. Maybe a lot of DeFi native people do, but the average person doesn't know what that is. And so being able to create an experience for them where they could save and spend all in kind of one flywheel, I guess, so to say, is much preferable to me and much preferable to the Aave ecosystem. If we could bring real world benefits to these users, retain their purchasing power, and make it easy to spend this stuff, then that's a win for everybody.
And so there's really two sides to the other conversation. Like the most obvious one is, yeah, like I have stablecoins and I'd love to earn some yield on them, but also I don't want to withdraw from Aave every time I have to spend. So that direct spendability is definitely a huge asset. But at the end of the day, if there is lending, there is also borrowing on the other end, and so really that enables like a lot of users to do quite the opposite, which is like some people have ETH and they are very bullish on ETH because it's a great asset, and they still have restaurants to pay, flowers to buy, things to do, and so some people may choose to take the opposite route, which is like use that ETH as the prime collateral that it is and start taking on USDC debt to use with the card.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think one of the things that we're starting to see happen in the world in general is that assets like Bitcoin, like ETH, are starting to become commodities that people feel like they have to hold, and they feel like they're storing their wealth in those assets, which is exciting for all of us because, for obvious reasons. But I think it's really important that those people can save their wealth in assets that they know and trust and that they can hold for a long time, while also, like you said, having access to liquidity. So a very popular use case is depositing, something like wrapped Bitcoin or depositing ETH or staked ETH, and then borrowing cash against those assets because they're gambling or they're really betting that those assets are going to appreciate over time. And obviously you don't want to spend your most valuable savings vehicle, whether it's Bitcoin or ETH. So they could borrow cash like USDC, spend it however they want. And then if the price of the underlying asset that they borrowed against is appreciating, then they're not really worried about, how much they borrowed. And I guess what's special about Aave is it makes that process extremely easy. I mean, right now I'm kind of going through the process of trying to buy a home, and it's miserable. Like we're interfacing with banks, we're interfacing with mortgage lenders and all the rest. And the experience is just so bad. There's so much paperwork. It's not a fun process. But with a protocol like Aave or with any DeFi protocol, being able to just go to a website, deposit an asset that you own, and then borrow against that asset without any hassle, any paperwork, and with clear, transparent terms, I think is like a big win. So hopefully, we can continue to make the bridge between DeFi and the real world more accessible, more usable for people, and we'll only start to see more and more users kind of come into the space. So you're totally right. Most people do typically borrow against their most valued assets, which these days tend to be Bitcoin and ETH.
And this is something that we as Linea wanted to push users to do more, because like everyone knows the card, everyone knows that USDC is spendable. More and more people know that USDC is spendable, which is great. But we wanted to really like showcase people how it can work and make it an even better deal for them. So we started partnering and started thinking about how can we help all of this. And at the end of the day, we ended up partnering with a few partners to really make lending on Aave even more compelling by giving you a boost on your lend asset, but also make accessing debt even cheaper by essentially giving you back some of the interest that you pay to borrow that USDC. And so a lot of this essentially boosted reward is something that we've done with the Brevis team, and like it's quite exciting. And this is something that we want to continue talking about because it's what is going to make essentially people start to make the switch from just using USDC to start like using it in a credit way, in a lent way, and essentially putting those assets to work, because this is what DeFi allows you to do. This is the composability we're looking for.
Yeah, same. It's one of the big things we're focused on actually in the Aave ecosystem in general is how do we get more people building on top of Aave, because kind of drawing the parallel to traditional finance or whatever, it's notoriously difficult to build a fintech app, especially one that's extremely innovative or disruptive, mostly because there's so many middlemen in between all of the different things going on in finance that it's hard to do something that kind of disrupts the current power structure. Whereas in DeFi, everything is pretty composable by default. And so even something as simple as AUSDC being a transferable yield-bearing token, like something like that doesn't exist in the same way in sort of traditional finance. And so the more people that build on Aave, the more people who come up with creative use cases on top of Aave, the better. We're starting to see a ton of that, especially lately, as the space is seeing a big comeback recently, and especially with all the different L2s who all have their own ecosystems like Linea does. Each ecosystem kind of has its innovative project sitting on top of it. And so as long as Aave is there providing a solid foundation, then there's all kinds of cool stuff that can be built. I think also in the near term, we have Aave v4, not so far off. And Aave v4 is going to be even more composable and is going to allow for even more innovation on top of Aave, which is something we're super excited about. So totally on board with seeing more experimentation in DeFi in general, but it's specifically on top of Aave, which has been around for 5+ years. It's a solid foundation. People trust it. I think that's important for sort of the next generation DeFi products. They need something to build on top of that they can trust and that their users can trust.
Yeah, no, amazing, and like can't wait to see what things are going to be built on V4. But thanks a lot for all of the overview, Colton, and yeah, thanks for joining us today. I think now we should move into those boosted rewards that we put on top of Aave, and start discussing essentially what kind of behavior are we trying to incentivize and like teach users about. So thanks for
thanks
being
for
here
having
today.
me. No, totally stoked to be here. Really excited for all of the stuff we've been doing together. So definitely check out the MetaMask card, AUSDC spending, MetaMasker, and all the rest. And also Aave is of course live on Linea. So make sure if you have any borrowing needs, Aave.com is where you want to go. So thanks again, guys, for having me on.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, so now, as we were saying, we boosted those Aave rewards, and we use Brevis to do that. So like, let's invite Mo to the stage so we can talk about how we did all of this and what it means for the users. Oh, let me try to get him on the stage. How are you, sir?
Hey, man. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah, we were talking about Aave and like the behavior that we want to incentivize for users, and so we partner with you guys to try to boost those Aave rewards in two different ways. Essentially, we wanted to give users a boost when they lend USDC, so they can earn more money on top of this, but also incentivize the borrowing of it. So like people that have ETH and that want to take out a line of credit to use on a MetaMask card, we wanted to essentially subsidize a tiny bit the borrow rate. So that is something that we're really excited about. Maybe I'll give you the stage to introduce a bit what Brevis is and how Incentra is helping us do all of this, and then we can discuss the benefit for the users.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. And hi, everyone. This is Mo from Brevis. It's great to be here with teams from Linea, MetaMask, and Aave to talk about something I'm very excited about, which is how zero-knowledge proof are powering a new generation of secure, transparent, and intelligent DeFi incentive design. So before I kind of jump into the details of the program they're running with Aave and Linea and MetaMask card, just a quick intro of Brevis. So Brevis is what we call the infinite computing layer for Web3. It is a smart, verifiable computing platform powered by zero-knowledge proof. In plain English, what I mean is that Brevis can enable blockchain application to run very complex and data-intensive computation that simply aren't feasible to directly run in smart contract. So how do we do this? Is we do this by offloading these very heavy computation from the on-chain environment to an off-chain environment. And now here goes the important part. Brevis does not just compute the result. It also generates something called a ZK proof, ZK succinct proof. ZK succinct proof is this kind of piece of mathematical magic that can be used to quickly verify and cheaply verify, the result of a computation is correct by a smart contract. Now, instead of doing all these very complex computation directly on chain, with Brevis, the smart contract can simply offload that computation to an external environment and only verify the result. You only verify the proof to consume the result as if the entire computation happened on the chain directly. Now, this kind of compute off-chain and verify on-chain paradigm really enables blockchain to scale to an infinite level, because whatever computation you want to run, you can just throw it up to an off-chain environment and get the result back and then verify the proof with constant cost and extremely low cost. Now, how is this actually related to the MetaMask card yield boost feature? Here how it works, right? So like for the particular feature, if you lend or borrow USDC on Aave's Linea market, you can now earn an additional 2.4% APR. This is on top of the existing kind of APR you're already getting from Aave. Now, in the first glance, you may say, okay, this sounds pretty simple, right? So like, we probably can build this with just a smart contract, because after all, smart contract, you would think they should be able to read historical behavior for the user, because like we're essentially calculating what is the user's kind of a historical average, time-weighted average of their liquidity position in the Aave protocol, and use that as a reference to boost the yield, right? So, we should be able to do this in smart contract, right? But in reality, it is not actually the case. Smart contract in this case on that smart actually. It turns out that accessing and computing over historical on-chain data using smart contract is actually extremely expensive. Even on a very cost-efficient chain like Linea, calculating a typical user's time-weighted average liquidity position across their entire history will cost you hundreds and even $1,000 in just the gas price. So now this is where Brevis come to change the game here. As I mentioned, we can offload this very expensive computation of accessing and computing on historical on-chain data to this off-chain engine, generate a ZK proof, bring the ZK proof back to the blockchain smart contract. The reward contract can just then trustlessly verify this proof with just a few cents in gas cost, and then distribute the reward directly to the users as if the entire kind of computation process happened on-chain directly.
And so,
yeah.
So what that enables us to do is essentially, Brevis is like our big reward mechanism, and so you're able to do all of that computation, because people don't realize, but essentially one of the reasons why we're able to do this also is because we know we can target MetaMask card users, and the MetaMask card is a payment system, but it's, as Daniel said, it's a platform, and a portion of that, a part of that being a platform is that we know that every MetaMask card users is essentially unique, and it provides some form of Sybil resistance. And what that enables us to do, and the work we did with Brevis, is essentially we can know that someone has a MetaMask card and someone has an Aave position, and so we take those two data, and like Mo was explaining it, like the historical data is notoriously hard to compute, but we take that historical data of you lending USDC, and we are able to add 2.4% on top of the yield that Aave is already providing you in a native way. And so essentially, for the two use cases that we were talking earlier, the person that has stables and that want yield on it, but also to spend it, that person is going to earn even more yield. That yield is going to be boosted by 2.4%. But also, what we're doing is, someone that has ETH or any collateral asset and that wants to borrow USDC in order to spend it in the real world, that essentially interest that they are paying is going to be reduced by 2.4%. And so
Precisely.
from a user flow, it's going to be extremely simple, and it's already live. It's something people can try right now.
Yep.
From a user flow, it's extremely easy. It's like just use Aave as you would normally use Aave, spend with your card the way you would normally spend with your card, and we put in the MetaMask card interface a link to the Linea rewards, and Brevis is part of those Linea rewards where users can go and quite frequently come and get that boosted reward on the lending, or even get essentially subsidies on the interest they paid for borrowing. So this is something we're really excited about for the card and for Linea.
Definitely, yeah, the process of earning reward, using Brevis, portal is very simple. Just like the user has not, you don't actually need to do anything. There's no enrollment, there's no opt-in, there's no additional steps. Whenever you actually borrow land on Aave, you can just like click in the additional reward button on MetaMask, and then you'll be directed to this page where you will see your claimable reward that is additional to your existing yield, and just click claim out, and you'll get the reward out to you, in no time.
Mo, this has been it has been amazing working with you on this, because I remember like the first time I came to you, I had like this very custom idea, and this is where really off-chain compute shines, because we all have crazy ideas, but then we have to actually implement them. And the way Brevis works allowed us to be very custom, and like we worked with you on this, and like hopefully we'll work with you on many things in the future. So thanks a lot for taking the time today, and thanks for helping us build all of this.
Thank you. Super excited to work with the pioneer of decentralization and self-custody.
Amazing. Well, sir, thanks a lot, and everything is flowing very smoothly, because now we're going to talk to the MetaLend people, and MetaLend is really, you have to think about it as a savings account, and so all of that integrates with Aave and also with those rewards we were talking about with Mo earlier. So, sir, nice to see you. Thanks for taking the time, and welcome.
Hey, how's it going, Melon? Good to see you. And yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. MetaLend is basically a high yield savings account that works with the MetaMask card. You can earn 10% or more and spend it anywhere with the card. The way that it works is basically when you deposit your dollars onto MetaLend, we automatically route those funds to the highest yield Aave or Morpho pool across EVM chains. And then we make sure that we have some balance sitting in Aave on Linea so that you can spend with it. The goal here is, me personally and users of MetaLend previously have always had to come look for the highest yield pools across chains, and then you have to do all the work to bridge and move your funds over there. Nobody really wants to do that work. Our goal is to automate that, and at the same time maintain spendability with the card, which is obviously super important, and turns this into a high yield savings account, but it's more like a high yield spending account. So we're super excited about that.
And do it also in a very safe and self-custodial way.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is very aligned with the way also the way MetaMask wants to do things and the way Linea wants to do things. You always maintain control of your assets.
Absolutely. If possible, I'd actually love to do a quick screen share to show what the experience looks like. Is this coming through?
Not yet.
I think
yes, it is now. Perfect.
Awesome. So yeah, once a user basically deposits their funds on MetaLend, you will see your deposit amount. You can see how much you're earning, and you also get to go and set a spendable balance. So the way that this works is you set how much money you think you want to spend on a weekly basis with the card. Those funds get held in Aave on Linea. The rest of your funds route to the highest yield pool that, as you mentioned, you've approved of. So in this example, the majority of the funds here, kind of 9,355, are sitting in a Morpho pool on Ethereum, earning 11%. And then the spendable balance that I set, which is $150, is on Aave Linea. And what's going to happen is on a weekly basis, as you spend these funds, this gets topped up. So the funds move from Ethereum or whatever chain you've approved over to Linea, and you can keep spending them. And then on a weekly basis, these funds also will get optimized and put into the highest yield pool. As you were saying, this is fully on-chain, self-custody. A user and their private key is the only thing that can change this config and do the deposit and withdrawal. But right now, we're aggregating Aave and Morpho. If you as a user say, hey, I don't really know Morpho that well, maybe I just want to stick with Aave, you can turn Morpho off and just do Aave across chains. If you think, hey, I don't really want exposure on ETH, gas fees are a little high, you can also turn off mainnet and rotate across L2 chains only. So it's fully customizable. And yeah, you can even go and edit to the level of specific pools. So fully customizable. And yeah, we're looking to be adding more and more DeFi soon as Linea keeps adding DeFi as well. So super excited about this. Users can access it directly through the MetaMask portfolio or Linea Hub. You can also go on MetaLend.tech and then just sign up. And yeah, it takes 2 minutes. We're super pumped. This is our landing page. Love any sort of feedback. I'm in the US, so I'm just waiting for that card to come out for me to be able to use the full
Very
experience.
soon.
Yeah. And
But this is
sorry, go ahead.
no, this is super interesting because we were seeing a bit before like how easy it becomes to essentially have a savings account and directly spend from it.
Yeah.
When you work directly with Aave, and like in the case of MetaLend, it's really taking this to the next level where you automatically have essentially an agent working on your behalf to look for the best yield, and you just define a budget. You say, hey, I know I'm going to be spending like $100-$200 per week on this card. So like I want most of my money to be automatically yielding the best yield, and I want to have that spending budget. And that spending budget is USDC on Linea on Aave. So it is also earning the Aave rewards. It is earning the boosted reward that we were talking about with Brevis, and all of that is happening automatically. So really, you're saving. You have a savings account. It's very high yield, and at the same time, it's automatically enabling you to have that spending budget. All is customizable. If you want, you can have a way bigger spending budget, a way smaller. The goal is really we want to put everything in the hand of the users, and every users of every size essentially can come and use this. And also like it is extremely easy. It is extremely easy to use. I was testing it myself a week earlier just to see how it works, and I just never stopped using it because it just works. It's just a great product.
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate that. And one thing we as a team have been looking at and was shocking to us when we saw this number is, do you know how much money there is sitting currently in checkings accounts just in the US, which earn no yield, by the way? It's $6 trillion. So that's like double the market cap of Bitcoin, and that's in the US alone. So think about how much money is currently sitting on the sidelines for people that is sitting there just because they want it for spendability, right? That's the only real reason that you have money in a checkings account. So the goal here, obviously partnering with the MetaMask card, Linea, Aave, et cetera, is to change that. And in, hopefully 3 to 5 years, we're living in a world where the majority of funds are sitting in DeFi and fully spendable with the card. That's really the vision we want to push forward with.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, people don't put enough in savings account because they want spendability, and also it's management. And what MetaLend is enabling is really like not only can you spend it, but also like it's self-managed. So you always have your spending balance, you always have the highest yield on the rest. So this is really quite impressive. And so yeah, you have your USDC earning money on the best lending market possible, and also you always have spendability. That spendability and that money that sits on Linea is also earning boosted yield. So all of that really integrates completely natively with one another, and so that enables us to really cover most of the personal finance element that Daniel was talking about, which is like the spending, the savings, the lending, the borrowing. So it has been really nice working with you guys, and thanks a lot for the time today. Now we're realizing basically, thanks a lot for the time today.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. It's been awesome working together. We're excited to keep building and aggregating more and more of the DeFi that comes out on Linea. So it's been awesome so far. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot. So now we have done most of the personal finance element, the spending, the saving, the lending, the borrowing. The last part that Daniel mentioned is the rewards. And so of course, like traditional credit cards have some notion of points or some notion of cashback. the beauty of building some things in DeFi, it's like it's a completely permissionless ecosystem, and so anyone can build something on the work of someone else. And so when it comes to rewards, the MetaMask card itself is already offering up to 3% of cashback if you have the metal card, but because it's a completely permissionless ecosystem, you can have innovation be built on top of it. And this is where Coinback was started. And so I'd love to have Socratic come on the live stream to talk about how we did Coinback together. How are you, sir?
Great to have you. Great.
Yeah,
Great.
no, very
How are
good.
you?
So yeah, we were talking about talking about rewards and about cashback, and like of course the MetaMask card has up to 3% of cashback when you spend on USDC. But this is crypto. This is we have a lot of communities, and a lot of communities realize very quickly that MetaMask card users are prime DeFi users because they are Sybil resistant due to the fact that it's a card itself, but also they are like quite your advanced users. And so we started thinking about essentially creating a marketplace for rewards and a completely permissionless reward system. And if I'm not mistaken, this is like the first ever third party like permissionless reward system for a card. So like happy to talk to you about that.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me here, and we were very excited about this opportunity. We as a team, right, that we like work with over like 20 chains, like several hundred apps, and the core focus is trying to like abstract DeFi experience and make it more fun, right? And Linea is like, I think we've been working in the Linea ecosystem for more than 1.5 years right now, and worked on various different initiatives, including like decentralized finance for Uniswap, and also like some meme coins communities. And this is a particular one that we're very excited about, and probably the most excited build of the year for our team. And so in simple terms, like community program, it's a cashback reward program that allow MetaMask users to earn as they spend, and convert MetaMask card users to on-chain behavior that actually matters, right? To various DeFi points, and so to various ecosystem tokens and projects. It's also one of the venues that can bring large-scale MetaMask users, user base exposure to the projects and the tokens on Linea in the Linea ecosystem, right? So we're very excited about this build. First of all, like as you said, it's a probably like the world's first decentralized community-driven cashback program, right? Reward program, and only can be possible on blockchain and on the fast speed chains and affordable chain like Linea. And it's a collective initiative made only possible with core partners in the Linea ecosystem. Right, we cannot do it ourselves. It needs to be. We need to have like certain use cases. We need to have MetaMask. We need to have the underlying blockchain, which is Linea, and we need to have like the rewards contributor into this, right? That align with our vision, and it's also initiative that have a targeted PMF at birth, right? So I remember in the days that we were thinking about this idea, I was super pumped because it's a chance we can like together to craft this unique identity to Linea, to unlock the power of MetaMask massive users base to on chain, right? And think about MetaMask, there's like hundreds of chains out there, but there's only one MetaMask, right? And MetaMask user base is like 100 million users, 30 million monthly active users. These on-chain these users are like insanely valuable to a chain if we can try to onboard them and convert them to behavior that we want, right? So like particularly these hundreds, like with the MetaMask card launches, and we're targeting very specifically at the few hundred thousand KYC users, right? Thinking about like in Web2, for user acquisition that actually matters, like it probably costs projects at least $20 to $30 per user, to acquire them. And Web3 is probably more expensive because it's all about speculations. But with this opportunity, we can expose this group of users to Linea ecosystems, at a much affordable rate, and try to convert their attention, right? And it's also one of the great opportunity presented by like lots of speakers before, including like Aave, Brevis, and MetaMask card, and you can literally just like for those MetaMask card users, they can earn more liquidity as they spend, as they deposit,
And not
into
just
the account,
not
right?
just a, not just a tiny bit more, because we partner with like a bunch of Linea projects on this, and the
Yes,
total
for
rewards
sure.
we have are quite impressive right now. Up to 10% of cashback can be earned, and that is on top of the 3% that you get if you're metal card users. That is on top of the yield that AUSDC is giving you, and that is on top of the boosted reward that we are working with Brevis on getting your way. So this is really, because it is permissionless, it's being used by brands, by community, by projects as a way to get their token into the hands of the most valuable users. And so it's really that marketplace that allows those users to be rewarded. And right now we have, as I was saying, up to 10% of cashback, and there is no sign in, there is no enrollment, just literally just use a card, spend it, and then you're eligible for rewards. And we have a lot of great partners working with us on this, from Foxy to EtherX on the deck side, ZeroLed, 9x, Croak. There's a lot of projects working with us, Malda, Unfettered, and we even added on our end some ETH rewards because it's a great asset. So all of those projects are really enabling users to earn more and to really discover new projects, and discover in a deeper way the Linea ecosystem.
Right. I just want to share the logo here. These are awesome sponsors of this program. You have a shout out the name, so just want to give them a little bit of exposure. And for people who want to check out the website, is coinback.fund. The user experience is super simple. It just like connect your account there. It just connect your MetaMask account here, and for MetaMask users, you can just as you spend, you can see how much reward you can claim, and just single click. Yeah, and you can check your balances, you can claim the reward, and you can see this transaction histories on MetaMask card and how much relevant reward.
And this is
and you can learn.
this is where really like the MetaMask card stops being just a card and becomes a platform, because anyone like this is completely third party. This is purely community driven, and everyone can build something like this because we are in this like permissionless and very transparent ecosystem, so we can directly reward users for their behaviors, without essentially the whole cumbersome aspect of traditional cashback programs. So this has been really amazing working with you guys on this, and we hope to see users spend a lot on the MetaMask card and claim a lot of these rewards, and we hope to see also projects come and like get interested into this community cashback program.
Yeah, we literally just got a inbound, or a couple of inbounds, as we announced that yesterday, for a project that will be interested.
Expect more rewards then.
And if you, yes, let's do it. and if you want to do that, I think it just you can just sign up here. Go to coinback.fund and go to this section, join the community, and get in touch. And we'll and us and Linea team will get back to you as soon as possible.
Amazing. Well, so it has been like a pleasure working with you for a long time, and a pleasure to relaunch community with you guys. So again, thanks a lot for coming, and let's have a lot of users come and earn those rewards.
Yes, million users.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming. I think we're gonna start bringing back Daniel to the stage so we can have some end of podcast bullishness. How are you, sir?
Hello, am I back in? Can
are
you hear
back in.
me?
We can hear you perfectly.
Excellent. As I've noted, I'm using a hotel Wi-Fi, so I'm hearing you live on the Twitter, but in the actual interface where I'm talking, I'm getting a delay. So I want to make sure that everyone can hear me because what I'm about to say is very important. Number one, I want to thank the entire community. Everyone who's tried the MetaMask card. We really put a lot of work into creating what we think is the world's first platform for self-custodial neobanking, where people have choice, where people have agency, and really where others can collaborate with us to win together, right? Like as Colton was noting earlier, a lot of things that Aave are doing are completely novel. The idea that there is a rewards earning deposit token that can be transferred is going to completely change savings, will completely change treasury management, even on the corporate side. To have the opportunity to work with them, because traditionally, most savings accounts are just owned by the bank, right? We want to win. Obviously, we're MetaMask. We want the MetaMask card to be the most used card in the world. We want MetaMask to be the most used wallet. But we want folks like Aave to win. We want folks like MetaLend to win. We want the users to win. And I love Aave and MetaLend. But the great thing is, even if you don't, right, then you have the choice. None of this is financial advice, life advice, legal advice. The point is, at a technical level, you can do whatever you want, right? If you want to save in euros, you want to save in pounds, you want to save in Brazilian reais, you want to save in meme coins, you want to save in ETH, you want to save in staked ETH. Do you want to integrate with different DeFi lending protocols? Do you want to take out a loan? I took out a loan this week. I was a little bit illiquid. I did not bring my, I can't really use my, I don't have the logins to my ramps. And I need a little bit of money while I was down here in Brazil. I just pulled a quick little bit of USDC out of Aave at a very low rate. I think I'm paying like 2% versus my 23% unsecured credit line that I have on my credit card. We want folks to have the ultimate opportunity to be able to do these things using their own agency and their own choice. And we think that MetaMask, in this world that we both inhabit and enable, connecting these experiences to the ability to spend at up to more than 150 million merchants globally is really the key to bringing. I've said this a million times. You're going to hate me because I always keep saying the same things, saving, spending, lending, credit, rewards, and experiences. Now, the other I say is in 2021, look, I love the idea of bringing, Web3 crypto blockchain to social networks. I don't think social networks really work. I don't think we're like compensated right, etc. I do sorry, the rooms. Un momento, por favor. Tô trabalhando. Sorry, the room service at my hotel. Just to say, one thing I always said is in 2021, though, I really thought it was exciting. And we're saying, let's bring Web3 to Web2. I love it. Do it. But there's something more important we have to do first. And that's bring Web3 to Web0. That's real life. These concepts around saving, spending, lending have existed since Mesopotamia. Right? That's 5,000 years ago for those who are not counting. And I think through these collaborations with MetaLend, with Aave, with leveraging that we are the first like Sybil resistant proof of humanity, proof of spend card to have these wonderful like airdrops via Coinmunity and these wonderful partners like Rex. We love EtherX. We love the communities. Really investment, emotional and financial, but the usage of EtherX we think is a really novel way to give back to folks that want a DEX that truly is kind of community owned, to collaborate with Rex there, to collaborate with Moda and ZeroLend, the Foxy folks, and really call us up if you want in Coinmunity. We can make the intro. We really want to work with folks there, and we just couldn't be more happy to thank our users, our partners, the wonderful blockchain. Thank you, Ethereum. Thank you, Vitalik. Thank you to Linea. Thank you to geniuses like Declan. Thank you to folks like Malen. Maybe I'm too happy. I'm thanking everyone, but that's how I feel. This card has been a real passion project for a lot of us, and we hope you all love it as much as we do. Anything you need, again, complaints. I encourage complaints. Complain to us. Praise. I love praise. I'm a human. I like positive reinforcement. Suggestions, collaborations, partnerships. Just reach out to us. Because ultimately, the MetaMask card is not a product. It is a platform for self-custodial neobanking for all. And we couldn't be more excited to be on this journey with all of you. Malen, thank you again. Merci, mon ami.
Thank you,
Beautiful
sir.
day.
I've loved doing spaces with you.
Wow.
Always such bullishness coming your way.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, thanks everyone. This is going to be a wrap up. Thanks, Daniel. Enjoy Brazil. Yeah, thanks everyone. This was Linea DeFi. This was the MetaMask card. Lots of things to do. So yeah, get the card.metamask.io, deposit on Aave directly or through MetaLend. Claim your rewards. Whether that is the Metal card rewards, the community rewards. use Aave, get boosted yield, get cheaper debt, and let's do all of this. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure hosting you guys, and on to the next one.